The first time she borrowed it, I didn't mind. It's just for the weekend, Karen said, one manicured hand already gripping the handle of my lawnmower like it was hers. I've got company coming, and my guy canceled last minute. I smiled, nodded, told her to take her time. Big mistake. That weekend turned into a week. A week became 2. Then one day, I heard the unmistakable hum of my mower across the street in her yard while she laughed into her phone and waved at passing joggers like she was starring in a home improvement show. No apology. No mention. No return. When I asked gently if she was done with it, she blinked at me like I'd accused her of grand theft auto. Oh, she said, that mower? I thought it was just out for the block to use. I mean, it was sitting out, right? It had been locked in my shed. She never asked again. And every weekend after that, I'd hear it, my engine, my blades, my gas, maintaining the illusion that Karen was self-sufficient. I left notes. She ignored them. I sent texts. She left them on read. I knocked. She wasn't home. But I didn't get angry. Not at first. Because the thing about people like Karen, they believe they're untouchable, especially when they've got 3,000 Facebook followers and a garden full of sponsored succulents. So when she went live one Saturday morning to show off her DIY lawn glow-up, I watched, patiently, quietly. And then I dialed the police. On speaker, just loud enough for the livestream mic to pick up. Karen lived 3 houses down, but she acted like the street was hers. She had that kind of voice, sweet on the surface, but sharp enough to cut through your rib cage. She smiled with teeth, not kindness. She baked for people she liked and posted about people she didn't. I wasn't sure which category I was in. At first, I moved in during the fall, when lawns were dying and nobody cared about appearances. By spring, the neighborhood had woken up again, hedges trimmed, flags rehung, Karen out in full force with her iced coffee and wireless headset, talking to someone important, always. We were friendly, I thought. She complimented my mailbox once. It's minimalist, but in a way that says, I vote. I didn't know what that meant. I just nodded. She offered unsolicited advice about the height of my grass. You don't want it too short. We had a termite problem in 2019. Poor Lisa from across the way lost her deck. 1 week too short and bam, infestations. I thanked her. When I finally got around to buying a new lawnmower cordless, self-propelled, whisper quiet, she was the first to notice. Oh, wow, she said, eyeing it in my driveway. That's the Toro, right? Lithium-ion battery? That's like luxury-level grass grooming? I love that. The next morning, she asked to borrow it. Just for Saturday, I've got guests, and my yard looks like a crime scene. Of course. I said yes, and just like that, she claimed it. At first, I thought it was a mistake. She hadn't returned it after 2 days, but maybe she forgot. I walked over, knocked, no answer. The mower wasn't in her driveway, but I could hear it, the low hum in the backyard. I texted her, hey, mind if I grab the mower later today? Need to clean up my side. No reply. A day passed. Then another. I knocked again. Still nothing. That Friday, I walked past her house on purpose. She was outside, trimming the edges like she was filming a Home Depot commercial, using my mower, wearing oversized sunglasses and Bluetooth earbuds like she was too busy for confrontation. Looks great, I called. She pulled out one earbud and smiled. Oh, thanks. These new blades are insane. Slices right through the roots like butter. Sue, worth it. So, when you're done? Oh, yeah. I'll drop it off when I finish edging. Promise. She never did. I waited until Monday. By then, she was using it again. And again the next weekend. And the next. Always on camera. Always mid-live stream. Her caption said things like, quick tips from your fave lawn queen. Or, we don't gatekeep grass on this street. But apparently, she did gatekeep lawnmowers. The worst part? People thought it was hers. Commenters asked for the model, the link, the brand. She smiled into her camera and said, oh, just something I picked up last year. I've refined it. Refined. Like she invented mowing. That was the moment I realized I wasn't just being used. I was being erased. Karen didn't just borrow my mower. She absorbed it into her identity. It started slowly, like most manipulations do. A few Instagram stories of her Saturday reset, always with my Toro purring in the background. Then a Facebook post about helping the environment with cordless power. She even filmed a fake unboxing using a blank cardboard box and a wide-eyed smile. No tags. No thanks. No mention of me. When I commented politely, just asking if she was still using the mower. She deleted it, then messaged me privately, "Don't start drama over something this small. It's just a tool. Just a tool." So I replied, "Cool, then you won't mind giving it back." She left me on scene. I brought it up at a community BBQ a week later. A casual aside to Mr. Danvers, who ran the HOA's landscaping committee. Karen overheard. Her smile sharpened. "Oh, that mower?" she said, loud enough for the lawn chairs to turn. "I think he's confused. I offered to store it for him. He doesn't have a proper shed and, it rains." Laughter. Nodding. Someone even murmured, "That's so thoughtful." Thoughtful. Like she was doing me a favor. I stood there, stunned. I could have argued. I should have. But she'd already won the crowd with charm, with confidence, with those damn acrylic nails and prepackaged virtue. That night, I checked her live stream again. She was doing a tutorial on blade depth. "Gotta keep your grass just high enough to flex on the neighbors," she said with a wink. "Unless you've got jealous ones." Her followers ate it up. I stopped getting invited to local events. The community forum threads moved on without me. A neighbor who once borrowed my power drill now avoided eye contact at the mailbox. I'd been cast not as victim, but villain. The bitter loner. The complainer. Karen had rewritten the story, and all it took was a lawnmower. But she didn't understand one thing about me. I don't mind being underestimated. It gives me room to plan. So I watched. I waited, and I documented everything. Every live stream, every story, every comment where she claimed ownership. And when she scheduled her next Facebook Live lawn care Q&A for Saturday at 10 a.m., I did two things. Charged my phone, dialed the local non-emergency police line, not to shout, not to accuse, just to report a theft. Live. Loud. And with 3,000 of her followers listening, Karen's Facebook Lives had a rhythm. 10 a.m. sharp, Saturday mornings. Always sunny, always staged. Ring light balanced on a tripod. Hydrangeas in full view. Toro purring like a loyal pet. She wore workout leggings, full makeup, and that smug expression like the world owed her compliments for simply existing with cuticles that flawless. This time, she titled the stream, "How to Reclaim Your Lawn Like a Boss?" The comments poured in instantly. Queen, I love your yard." "What model mower is that again?" "Where do you get your gloves?" And right as she launched into a long explanation about eco-conscious blade angles, I made the call. I didn't raise my voice. Didn't punch it. I just stepped outside, phone on speaker, and said calmly, loud enough for her live stream mic to catch, "Hi, yes, I'd like to report stolen property. I know exactly where it is. It's currently being used in a live broadcast online. I can send you the link." There was a pause on the line. Then, "Can you confirm the address?" I gave it. Karen kept talking, unaware for now, until her chat started shifting. "Wait, someone just said you stole that mower? Karen, is this for real? There's a guy commenting with a receipt?" That was me. I'd screen capped my purchase, serial number included, uploaded it midstream. Then I added a caption. "Thanks for the storage, neighbor. Expect visitors soon." Karen stopped mid-sentence. Blink. Smile cracked, eyes darting toward the phone. Hold on, everyone," she said with a chuckle so forced it sounded like a cough. "Technical issues. Be right back." She ended the stream, but not before 873 people had watched it. Not before 117 comments questioned where, exactly, she got her gear. Not before she saw me, standing across the street, waving. 10 minutes later, she knocked on my door. Mower in tow. Face stiff. Foundation cracking. "Here," she snapped. "If you wanted it back so bad, you could have just asked like a civilized person." I raised an eyebrow. "I did, 3 times, and you blocked my number." Her jaw clenched. She tried to say something, some last-minute spin, but the damage was done. "You should probably tell your followers the truth," I added. She stared, then turned, then marched back to her porch like she hadn't just publicly unraveled. And me? I rolled the mower into my garage, locked the door, and turned off my phone. Did I gloat? A little. Did I rewatch the stream? Absolutely. Because justice doesn't always wear a badge. Sometimes it wears gardening gloves and hits go live. Karen didn't post for 3 days. That was a record. Her usual feed, sunset selfies, turmeric latte photos, blurry snapshots of her cat accidentally caught in front of her. Audi went silent. No stories, no hashtags, just silence. But the comments didn't stop. Her last stream had been clipped, memed, and reposted across petty people problems, Reddit threads, and HOA horror story forums. Someone dubbed the moment she froze into a TikTok audio. "You could have just asked like a civilized person." Maximized for eye rolls. And me? I hadn't said another word, didn't respond to DMs, didn't brag. I didn't need to. Karen was imploding all by herself until the HOA meeting. It was quarterly, usually boring, and entirely unnecessary. But this time, the folding chairs were full. Even the Feldmans showed up, and they hated everything. Karen arrived late, wearing oversized sunglasses and a smile that couldn't hide the exhaustion under her concealer. She carried a clipboard, a water bottle, and an air of desperate control. "I'd like to propose a motion," she said before the chairperson had even finished the agenda, "to introduce stricter rules about tool sharing and neighborhood boundaries." There were murmurs, raised brows. "I think we've seen what happens," she continued. "When certain individuals escalate minor issues for attention, it creates division. It undermines trust." She looked directly at me. I didn't flinch. "I was harassed," she said louder. "Publicly, slandered online, over a lawnmower." Someone in the back coughed the word stolen. Karen's eyes flicked toward the noise. The HOA chair cleared his throat. "Actually, Karen, we've reviewed the footage submitted, and while we'd prefer things be handled peacefully, the documentation was pretty clear." She blinked. The chair continued, gently brutal. "We're encouraging you to take a break from live streaming on HOA-branded channels, temporarily." Gasps. A silence fell. Karen opened her mouth, closed it, swallowed. "I see," she said tightly. "So, we're punishing ambition now." "No," I said, standing. "Just theft." That shut her up. She sat for the rest of the meeting, silent and fuming. No clipboard scribbles. No questions about flower height or sidewalk edging. Just quiet. And for the first time since I moved in, the street felt honest. Karen never apologized. Of course she didn't. People like her don't believe they owe apologies. They believe the world misinterpreted their intentions, that it's not what they did. It's how you chose to react. But what she did do, 2 weeks after the HOA meeting, was remove her garden cam. It had always been positioned to face half her tulips and half my driveway. It blinked red every time I stepped outside, like a little LED accusation. Now, it was gone. The empty hook where it hung felt louder than the camera ever did. She also stopped mowing, not just because the mower was gone, but because, for once, she was too ashamed to be seen. She hired someone. Quiet guy. Shows up Thursdays around noon, doesn't live stream, doesn't pose for photos, just trims and leaves. Kind of like me now. I keep to myself, but not out of fear anymore, just preference. I take care of my yard with my own tools, on my own time. The lawn isn't perfect, but it's mine. Max still barks at sprinklers. I still wave to Mr. Feldman, who waves back now, and sometimes drops off his wife's banana bread. At night, I sit on the porch with a beer and let the silence stretch, because the war is over. And it was never about the mower. It was about respect, about space, about not letting someone paint you as difficult just because you won't be steamrolled. Karen thought she could curate reality, filter it, polish it, narrate it, but you can't Photoshop theft. You can't crop out consequence. And once you go live, it stays live in every download, every clip, every comment thread that now reads, "Justice mode." Max barks at squirrels now, not neighbors. That's how I know we're healing. That. And the fact that last week, someone new moved in across from Karen. Young couple. Friendly. The guy asked me where I got my lawnmower. I smiled and said, "You'll know it when you hear it."